were really maltreated. And there was nobody from the FA that came to receive us. Nobody. Security. In fact, it was when I saw that the situation was unbearable, we made arrangement to hire our own vehicles. We hired our own vehicles. They did not allow us to go out and join our vehicles.
There is no gainsaying the fact that we need to respect, our national teams. Our national teams carry, the national flag of our countries, our various countries. If you look at particularly the Nigerian national team, the crop of players that we have to go through, make a lot of sacrifices to represent our country and to play for it. So we must be interested in their circumstances and in their situation at every point in time.
Oh yes, let's talk about our own Super Eagles. Well, like Dr. Julius Oni, they returned to Nigeria, but the circumstances are definitely different. They didn't go through anything good in Libya, but they're back home. Cecilia Morgwe joins us yet again. Cecilia, second time we're seeing you in as many days, so obviously there are real issues to be discussed here. But first, the return of the Super Eagles. Yeah. I'm sure you're excited for them.
Yeah, after 20 hours. you know, when we started, we thought it wasn't hostage. It was just the usual tactics they do. Yeah. But until we started seeing pictures of where they were actually kept, that was hostage, or you can even use the word kidnapping. I didn't want to use those words yesterday. We're trying to be careful because we couldn't reach the players or the delegation that were with them because they didn't have access to the internet or anything. I was chatting with one of them and he said the deputy governor of Edo State had to go meet the security man, one of the security personnel there, and then connect Truth Ekong's phone to Wi-Fi. That's how they started reaching out to the outside world. Until then, another Nigerian, a good Samaritan, also had to bring a Wi-Fi for them because that wasn't enough because it was only Truth that could reach out. Then all of them started, if you check the pictures currently on, you see that that's how they were struggling to connect to Wi-Fi. And these are players, these are big boys. These are national team players are struggling to actually get access to internet. This was after I think after 14 hours or thereabouts, because they spent about 20 hours, in total in Libya. And if you look at the back, check the back, that's where this is the airport that is hardly being used. So the airport usually is used for Hajj, when the other airports are filled up. And Libya is ruled by two presidents. You have the president of Benghazi, president of Tripoli. So at the end of the day, they were kept in a very small place, and they have just the only people they could see were just security men. You didn't have, there was no other plane that landed on the airport on that day. So it's as if it was like a hijack. They were supposed to land in Benghazi. They told them an hour before they landed, they told them to reroute. Plane was diverted to these particular airports. So you're wondering what's going on. I can't imagine what they were going through at that time, because you're thinking you're going to land here, and the next thing they take you here, and you get to the airport, it's empty. The only people that received you were actually security personnel, not the federation, not the Libyan Football Federation you were expecting, because that's the norm, that's the practice. When you arrive at a country, you're coming to play football. The federation, the football federation, the governing body of that country will receive you. That's how it's done. So players struggling to actually connect to the internet. And then the video of them singing and dancing, happy, home, my home, singing, because this was when they were freed after 20 hours. They want to go home. So you see pictures like this, you see parliamentarians, you see NFF executive members, not just the players, like everybody kept in one place. Deputy governor even of Edo State, he was part of the delegation. You just see all of them, happy, joyful that they are finally going home. You went there to play football and not this.
Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen first to what the atmosphere was like, and then we'll come back. And then we'll come back. Okay.
I'm sorry for that. Okay? I'm sorry for that.
they've gone through discomfort for 24 hours, you know, and they're still putting up a very good attitude in spite of it all.
Yeah.
Now, Cecilia, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
What we saw yesterday and the explanation provided by the Libyan government doesn't add up. Does it add up for you?
It doesn't, because they say usually you have a routine check, like it happens like that. Sometimes you can't land in a particular airport. Yeah. They tell you to land in somewhere else. But hey, yes, we get that. It happens, right? Now, how do you keep people for 20 hours in a place? I mean, if you see pictures of the airport, it's a small airport. Like, it's a small airport that is hardly in use. And they didn't even have, when I was chatting with some of them last night, they didn't even have facilities where you can even land. It was even hard because they were not prepared for the arrival of that particular aircraft. So it was even hard. And this is the airport that, you know, where they were kept. And at the end of the day, according to some of the players, the Abrak International Airport, the VIP lounge where they were kept is like the VIP lounge if you've been to Benin City Airport, you know how small it is. That's where they were all kept. I mean, these are national team players. I mean, just, you wonder, you can't see, they didn't see anybody. No, they didn't see a normal person. I mean, a civilian, so to speak. The personnel they were seeing were all security personnel. I mean, the ones who rejected, not really rejected, who kept the plane from, in the food aspect was the funniest one. See, empty airport, no one there. The food aspect was even the funniest one. Those who didn't eat their meal while they were, you know, inside the plane. You know, sometimes they just give you a pack, you keep it. That was what they had to fall back on because they were very hungry.
So they didn't provide meals for them as well?
No food, no water, no Wi-Fi, nothing. It's as if their phone were jammed, so they couldn't even connect to the outside world. And it was, I think they said one, a guy who had bread, I mean, carried bread along, was the one that now brought bread, eating bread and water. When the Nigerian who brought Wi-Fi for them, when they brought water, that was when they were now eating bread and water.
Thankfully,
I mean,
they're back home now. This is eventually the
yeah.
team landing last night about 9 p.m. Last night. So they're back home. Now, the big question is first, what will be done in terms of reparation for these team members? These are our star boys.
Yes.
You know, by the way, you should see how we treat them in our dress celebrities and stuff. So reparation, and then the match that is expected to be played later tonight, at least according to the schedule. Which obviously the Super Eagles will not be a part of.
Happening, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So the onus is on CAF now to do the needful. But of course, they would investigate and not to preempt whatever CAF will do. But I think some of the evidence we have, it points to, I mean, what is playing out, the shenanigans that has been described. So speak to us about what will happen in the coming hours, what you expect to happen, and when we are likely to get a definitive pronouncement from CAF. Yeah,
when it comes to CAF, it's actually difficult to predict. FIFA, you can say, okay, this is what has been stipulated. But CAF is hard. They've already refer the incident to a disciplinary committee. I'm like, you've seen videos, you've seen pictures. This is not hearsay. This is not, I think, this is not assumption. This is what really happened. 20 hours. What are you going to do? Why are you waiting? Why are you referring the case to a disciplinary committee? If you want to take action, it should be immediate. I was thinking the game should have been postponed by, let's say, another 24 hours and the players stay back. But it's hard. International break doesn't really have that window because very short, and players will have to go back, you know, to their clubs. But I think that just maybe after the whole. Maybe after, I don't know, maybe before the Nations Cup, they can decide to find a window to actually play this game. Or Libya should be sanctioned for this because we've established the fact that this is not the first time. It's just because this is Super Eagles and it's a national team and it becomes an international event. And that's why CAF is even responding. Enyimba have suffered the same fate. Rivers United have suffered the same fate. Nigerian clubs.
In Libya?
In Libya, yes. Nigerian clubs have suffered the same fate when they travel internationally. Like the hostility that the North Africans usually give to, you know, Nigeria. I don't know if it's, I don't even know how to kind of classify it. It's like there's just this hostility that they have, you know, when they are receiving teams. I think usually we just say it's a mind game, you know, try to play mind game, you know, keep them. They won't have that condition to actually play very well, kind of, you know, that comfort or anything. But this was just, you know, overboard. This was just too much.
And, you know, President Bola Tinubu has rightly, you know, demanded that an investigation be made. And I wonder what rules they'll be invoking from, you know, the CAF rules and regulations to address this, Cecilia.
Yeah, that's what we're just waiting for, because they've never really sanctioned. This hasn't happened before. We've seen maybe 6 hours or something like that, but this national team, like, there's no national team that have gone through this. You know, in the history of CAF. We haven't seen this, how bad this is. So we really don't know what I think. Maybe they can just be sanctioned, that they can play outside their home ground if they cannot receive their visitors well.
But something needs to be done to ensure it doesn't happen again.
Precisely.
Because other countries will just say, oh, this is a game plan. You need 20 hours, we'll give you 2 days. So we'll delay you for 2 days. As you said, CAF put out that tweet that it views the disturbing and unacceptable experiences of the Nigerian football team at an airport in Libya in a very serious light. So at least I like the tone of that tweet from CAF, saying that this is unacceptable and we are viewing it in a serious light. So we'll see what they will do. But Sisi, yet again, you don't look like what the Super Eagles have been through. you don't look like what they've been through.
And Kade, even at the club level, we shouldn't be seeing this kind of treatment, for our
so
clubs.
That's why
countries
who act like this should play outside their home ground. It's simple.
Simple as that.
If you can't receive your guests well, then you have to, because this is football. This is not politics. It's not.
Sisi, we have to thank you so much yet again. I love the passion. Right, I love that, and that's. I think I must commend Nigerians for coming through for the Super Eagles. Cecilia Morgbe, our sports correspondent. Maybe you'll have gone to Libya with them, Sisi. Thank you so much.
20 hours. I don't know if I can survive that. And good thing, there was no woman among them. I was actually happy.
Whatever happened to equality now? Equal representation.
Sisi, we can survive it.
Yeah, we can. We can.
Even more.
We can. I would make more noise,
There you go. Sisi, thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to speaking with you again on better issues.
Yes. On a pleasant note. Precisely. Maybe when the Super Eagles win.
And in November, we're waiting for that.
There you go.
2 games.
So we have to anchor at this point. What a show it has been. If you had goosebumps during that conversation with Dr. Julius Oni, absolutely, that was a mind-blowing conversation, and I do hope that this ripple effect causes even greater things to happen in our nation. But we have to leave right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kayode Okikiolu.
And I hope that sense of patriotism percolates, through followership and the leadership as well, so that we can have a better Nigeria in the short rather than long term. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. I am Bukola Koka.
And Sunrise Daily is next.